Yo, what is good, Eagles Nation? This is your boy, AK Eagles, and this is the Eagles Uncensored podcast. And with me tonight, I have my special friend, Vick3. He is not a creator, but he is very knowledgeable of the football game. That is why I brought him on as my special guest tonight, because this man is brilliant when it comes to football, at least in my eyes. I truly admire the things you talk about and the things you say. I truly think about it. You're very knowledgeable when it comes to football. So I appreciate you coming on and joining me tonight, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate coming on and I appreciate the compliment.
It's no problem, dude. Anytime I can get in with somebody and talk knowledgeable football, that makes me happy. You know.
Yeah.
So what's good, LGB? How's it going, my guy? Bird Gang, as always. What's good, my guy? Thank you for joining in. Heads or tails? How's it going, dude? Appreciate you coming in, as always. So yeah, man. The first thing I'm gonna do, and I start out pretty much everyone that comes in here for the first time. I always ask them what makes them an Eagles fan. So, tell us what made you an Eagles fan as a kid.
Begrudgingly, I have to say it was my dad. We don't have a good relationship, but the only thing that we had in common were the Eagles. I mean, since I was a kid, I remember watching the Fog Bowl with him. I mean, just that time that we had together. Again, like I said, me and him are something close. So that was, I think, one thing that drew me to it. But from my teenage years on, man, I was just a fan of the team. Players, everything that came through from McNabb era. You got Dawkins. I just loved the team and, bleed green.
Yeah, man. No, it is truly something. I always tell everyone my brother and my dad were Redskin fans, and that's what made me go the opposite direction, and that's what made me land here. But I really loved Randall Cunningham as a kid. That's who I watched as a kid growing up Sundays in front of the TV. You know, so uh, it was always awesome to watch him and Reggie White do their thing, and that's just really what made me fall in love. And the Kelly Green. You can't forget the Kelly Green.
That team was
So
amazing. You had Fred Barnett, you had Herschel Walker. Yeah,
yeah,
man. You had a lot of good guys on that squad. You still had Jerome Brown. God bless
yep,
the dead.
Jerome Brown, all of them, man. It was a really solid team, and for me as a kid, it just felt right. The Eagle, the Keller, the players, and just how they carried themselves, and the pride that we had. It just all around just drew me in. And yes, sir, number one, fuck you, crew member in the house, the Nest Out West. Appreciate you, my guy, for coming in. He just had a live with Mitch, so definitely go and check that out. If you haven't already, appreciate you for stopping in, my guy. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this, man. Let's talk about one of the things we talked about backstage. Um, I'll let you bring it up, and also, what's up, Prime Time? How you doing, my guy? And I'll let you bring it up in chat. You can even pipe in too. This one kind of caught me off guard, and it really made me think for a second. So take it away, my guy.
All right. Well, earlier today there were reports that Devontae Adams and the Green Bay Packers have broken off contract talks, and a couple of ideas were floating around on who his potential landing spot could be. And of course, the Eagles come up as the number one landing spot. As ridiculous as it is, there are a lot of trouble going on in Green Bay. They're having issues with keeping their quarterback, and now the receiver isn't happy either. And who can blame them? Why would you want to sign with the team if you don't even know Aaron Rodgers is going to continue to be there? But one
Yeah,
of the things that were interesting, and again, I'm not saying that this would happen. I'm not saying that this is in the possibilities of happening. But there was a trade scenario that financially it makes sense. If you were to take Fletcher Cox, Zach Ertz, and Derek Barnett and trade them for Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Again, it's a ridiculous trade, and I understand that. No one will ever do it. But I'm just saying, financially, it makes sense and it could happen. It is a plausible trade. Now, that sent a lot of people thinking, is there a possibility of teaming up our newly acquired Smith with Adams, Slim Reaper with Devontae Adams, and how that would look? And me and you had gotten a discussion of would Kurt Sirianni want that? And I brought up the fact that with coaches nowadays, you don't get much time to prove yourself in the league. You get maybe 2 to 3 seasons. Now again, not saying that this would happen, but if a coach like Sirianni wanted to make a name for himself, what better way than to acquiring Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams?
Yeah, no. Hey, Carolyn Beck, thank you for joining. It's the first time I've seen you in here. Please hit that like, subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when I go live or drop content. I appreciate you for being here. Welcome. Coach Dante, what's going on, my guy? Mitch, as always, welcome. Yeah, fuck. That I really hated that one, man, because it's Devontae Adams. I mean, that's amazing. Now that's the thing. I would not give up the Slim Reaper. Like, I'm sorry, you're not getting him. I would rather have Adams and Smith together.
Well, I don't think he was a part of the
But
trade. And the scenario was the 3 players and I think possible first round picks. I don't remember how many. Could have been up to 2, but that was a possibility in there.
yeah, I just well, and that was the question I brought up to you earlier. And that's what makes this an interesting conversation because you have the Watson talk, and now you had what you said about Rogers, and I even asked the question like 2 or 3 days ago to someone. I said, it's funny because if Hertz would tank, which I expect him not to do, I completely expect him to do the complete opposite of tanking. Um, but if he would, everyone wants to say Watson, Watson, Watson. I was like, what makes you think he wouldn't want somebody like Rogers or a vet? Somebody who is more knowledgeable and can control the game. I don't understand where everyone automatically thinks that he would want Young. Maybe he isn't that guy. So it's funny that you brought the whole Rogers thing up because I was like, I wouldn't be amazed if he would go that route.
Yeah, and that's what I was bringing up before. Coaches have a certain amount of time to turn teams around or to make a team somewhat successful. If you're a coach who can obtain Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and still keep pretty much everything you have instead of players that, for the most part, are aging and aren't getting any better, for a coach, that would be a no-brainer because if you're thinking of the future and you're saying Jalen Hurts is only, I believe, 22, and the future's bright with him, well, Devontae Adams is still in his 20s. So you still have a future with him also. So that argument of the
Yeah.
future kind of gets nulled out.
Yeah, no, and I told you, man, I believe, the Watson thing to me, that was a no-brainer. I don't like that. I don't want that. It's not good PR for us, especially after what we just went through, and just all in all, we don't need that shit here. We need to start fresh, ground up, and just rebuild and without drama, without stupid bullshit, and we don't need that. But listen, I've always been fascinated with Aaron Rodgers, but when you start tossing his name into this conversation, now you're making me think a little bit. Because I love Hurts, but it's fucking Aaron Rodgers, man. Like,
And again, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. This is just a
no, I
scenario
know.
if it could.
Yeah,
Yeah, because people would automatically get on you like that. Again, we're just saying if. What if? If Aaron Rodgers was on this team with Devontae Adams, we would be serious Super Bowl contenders.
yeah,
Now, again, I'm not trying to
no,
take anything from Jalen Hurts. I think he has the potential to be a great player. I don't
yeah,
want this to make it seem like I don't want him around. That's not the case. I'm just saying, if we were to have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams on our team currently, we would be looking at least an NFC playoff or NFC championship game.
yeah, no, listen, and I would do that too just to piss off my stepson because he's a Packer fan. So I would so do that in a heartbeat. I'd be like, pull the trigger right now, just do it. Because that would, oh man, he would be so fucking mad. Because honestly, he doesn't like us as a Green Bay fan because, and it is very true. When it comes down to playoff contention at the end of the year for a wild card, if Green Bay and us are fighting for that wild card, we're always the two that stand in each other's way. And then right there in the playoffs as well, in the wild card game, we're usually playing each other.
Yeah.
So there's a big rivalry there that's unknown to a lot of people, but Green Bay doesn't like us that much because they feel we take their roster, their playoffs wild card spot from them a lot. So
Well, I think for
yeah,
the
he
older
would totally
generation,
hate that.
yeah. Well, like I was saying, for the older generation, they have a little more hate towards the Eagles because, if I'm not mistaken, the Eagles are the only team to beat a Lombardi Packers run team in the championship game, 1960, which was our last championship before 2017, 2018.
Yeah, no, and considering too, like Rodgers just came off a MVP year. Like, I mean, that's good enough for me too.
So the thing
It's
is,
not like he's still not producing. It's still not like he's not putting up numbers. And in all honesty, the man is one hell of a quarterback. So, he would only elevate this team for sure. I mean, we
I
know
agree.
how he can make shitty players elevate. So,
He's a
damn you for
quarterback that can throw
bringing
a
that
wide receiver open.
scenario up. Who was that?
I said he's a quarterback that throws receivers open. They're quarterbacks that
Yeah,
have to be timed. They have to have a perfect. He's a quarterback that no matter what, he could throw you open.
yeah.
And the thing
Damn
is,
you
too,
for
he's very
bringing that
hungry.
scenario up.
Hey, man, again, it's all talk. That's all it is. Even with the Watson thing, I really think that that's all talk. It's just people
No,
trying. It's a slow season, and they're just trying to get something out there.
I agree, but even still, just thinking about that, like that, just knowing that it could even possibly be a possibility, just makes me upset because it's like I know it will probably never happen. Like if this would happen, no lie, if what you are saying would happen, I'd probably drop dead from a heart attack because that would be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and how 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 lucky we would be. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like that doesn't fucking happen to us. So it's like, all right, what just happened? Who sold their soul to the devil? What the fuck just truly happened? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
we're never that lucky. It would never happen. So
Well, it's so far fetched because it's both star players on the offensive side of the ball. No team has ever traded their basically their offensive side of the ball with. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are the Green Bay Packers offense. So it
yeah,
would be hard to think that they would actually do it. Now, out of both scenarios, between Rodgers and Watson, I still think the Watson scenario is more likely. And again, that all depends on what happens this season. We all know this is Jalen Hurts' audition season. He has 18 games, or excuse me, 17 games to prove himself. If he doesn't, and whatever happens with Deshaun Watson's case, I don't even know fully what's going on with that. But if all that gets cleared up by next season, and we're looking at possibly drafting a quarterback next season, I would think I would be hard pressed to think that Howie Roseman or whoever's the GM at the time wouldn't give Houston a call.
yeah. No, I mean we already know that the man said he would sell the farm for him. So that in all scares me right there. That's all I need to hear. So I don't know, man. I'm just not sold on that. I just don't think we should give up on Hurts so fast because it's like I told you, man. That's our problem. We move on way too fast from everyone. We need to start getting consistency in this franchise. But we need to start. One bad season isn't a good reason to get rid of somebody. Consecutive bad seasons are, but not one. You know what I mean? And it's just I want to start seeing that. I want to start seeing the consistency in this building. I want to start seeing our head coaches last 10 years. I want to start seeing our franchise QBs last 10 years. And if you keep switching quarterbacks every other year, you're going to start being the Cleveland Browns. And we all see what that did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that was the intent with Carson, keeping that team together. The intent in re-signing Cox, Graham, and everybody. But again, when you go and you're trying to re-sign everyone, sometimes that might not work either. You got to have your options open, and I think that's what they're doing this year. They're learning from the mistakes of the past. They have three potential first round picks, and I think they're going to hold on to them as long as possible because it could be a scenario like I said. We may need a quarterback. or we may have our quarterback of the future. Now we need to focus our attention on the defensive side of the ball and getting a quarterback of the future because Darius Slay isn't getting any younger, and we don't have a second cornerback at the moment.
Well, and that's the thing, I try and tell everyone. Everyone's so worried about getting Deshaun Watson. It's like, I'd rather take some of that capital and use it to get Xavier Howard. Now granted, I understand that getting Xavier Howard probably means we have to let go of Fletcher Cox. Okay, I understand that. Barnett's probably not going to be enough. You know, I don't think so because even though that he doesn't want to be there, he's actually played really well, and the Dolphins aren't dumb. Just because he doesn't want to be there doesn't make his value drop. He's still one of the top corners, if not the top corner in the NFL right now. So his value doesn't drop whether he wants to be there or not.
Yeah, but my one issue with Howard is 2 seasons ago he signed a contract and was all for it. He saw that guaranteed money. He saw it was a front loaded contract. Now we're 2 seasons past and we're looking at what we have left and we're upset. So my
Yeah.
thought is if we're going to get a player like that, what happens with in 2 seasons with us? Is he going to be the type of player that's going to want to hold out? Is he going to want a new contract? Is he going to want to trade? So we're going to acquire someone for what, a season and a half, and then get a disgruntled player and get complaints and get attention that we don't want. Like I understand the talent. The talent is there. That's not a question. But it's what comes with the talent, the baggage.
Well, I think it's more of a respect level for him. He's not, like for instance, they're paying Byron Jones way more fucking money than him. Like that.
But he signed that contract.
That's stupid as shit.
He signed that
No,
contract.
I understand that, but that he also got that contract before they got Byron Jones. They got Byron Jones after he signed that contract, and they paid Byron Jones what, like 75 million or something like that, or what was it, 80? So it was
I
fucking
remember.
ridiculous money.
Yeah, it was wild,
Ridiculous.
but he has to understand that's the game. That's free agency. That's how it's played. He had that
Yeah, but
opportunity.
I
That's
feel
my
his
thing with.
pain though, bro. I feel
Oh
his
yeah,
pain.
I'm all for it. I'm for anyone who's trying to get their money. But at the same time, if you're coming to my team, are you going to play that again? Are you going to play that whining role of, oh, I'm not getting enough, or I don't feel respected? But 2 seasons ago, you felt thoroughly respected.
Yeah. Well,
That's my
but
issue
that's
with
the
him.
thing though. Byron Jones only had 2 interceptions. We're talking about a guy who's had 18 to the NFL's 19 in the
Yeah,
last 2 years. I
yeah.
mean, this is way different. You got a guy over here who just had 10 interceptions last year. How many did Byron have? I know he
Oh,
didn't have
about
10.
2.
I
Yeah.
know he didn't have 10.
But when it comes to free agency, it's all about supply and demand.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If he would come here, as long as he gets the money and the respect that he wants and deserves, I don't see him having an issue. It's just you're paying a second rate corner way more than what you should. No lie, their contracts should be reversed. He should be getting what Byron Jones is getting, and Byron should be what he's getting.
Well,
Like
that's the
there's
second
no
issue.
doubt.
That's the second issue, the money. We're not in
Yeah.
a position to pay anyone right now. We have,
But
what
that's
is it?
why I
Zach
said
Ertz
you
is
have to
holding.
come off Fletcher because he is 15 million and Cox is 20. Barnett's only 10. You'd still have to give Barnett and Ertz away, but I don't know if they'd even take Ertz because they have Mike Gesicki, and he's
Yeah,
actually coming to be a pretty decent tight end. He's from Penn State. He is a stud. I liked him at PSU. And he's not doing bad there. But I don't know if they'll take Ertz and to be a tight end too. It wouldn't be a bad option, but I don't know if they do it.
it
But
would be an
still, that I
overload
don't.
for him.
Yeah, but still, I
Yeah,
mean that's just giving you only 18 million then, and then he takes up 15 of that, and you still have to sign Landon Dickerson. So I mean, there's just it's a lot, man. It's a lot to think about.
I think people are not going to like to hear it, but our best bet is we're going to have to draft our corner. We're not going to be able to sign anyone, at least not a big name, not anyone you think. If there is a signing, it's going to be at a veteran minimum. You know what I mean? It's going to be whatever we can get. Now, next year, I think that's when that will be addressed. This season, we're just the way we look at our linebacker position. Hey, we got whatever we have, and that's what we're going to go with.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know. I just uh, that's what scares me. And Foothill says it. He has Howie's name in there. we have to remember Howie's still in charge here. Yeah, he's not extended. That makes me breathe a little bit easier every day. The longer he goes not extended, the easier my life becomes. But it can happen at any time. I would like to think if he was going to be on this team next year, Jeffrey would have already extended him. You know, but we'll see how that ends up playing out. But yeah, I don't know, man. You want to answer that one? I don't know what it's going to take for Howie to remain here, man. I mean, I don't even know if just having an 8-win season is good enough.
I was thinking the same thing because I think if we even have a bad season, there's still a possibility he could be here. But I think it's how bad of a season we have. How much reaction does the fan base have on our season? How horrible it is. Because as we know, our owner only reacts when the fan base is outraged. So if we're not showing that we don't want him here, oh, he'll be here next year.
Yeah, that is true, man. I just so we'll move on. Okay, how about Landon Dickerson? All right. What do you feel is going on there? Why are we having a fuck game with him?
I don't even know, man. I wasn't crazy about the pick. I understand it's the need. We have Kelsey that's, he's going to retire shortly. We're going to need that center. I hear a lot of great things about him when he was in Alabama. I mean, everything is positive, but it's just where we got him. I don't think it was a second round pick wasn't deserving. Maybe for another team if they needed him, but I don't think we should have gotten him as a second round pick. There's a lot of question marks with his health. Again, like I said, he sounds like he's a great player, great locker room guy, but what is he going to produce on field? Especially for a second round pick. He has to produce and produce early.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. We all know he is a monster. He is like 6'8", 350, I think. Like he's an animal, and he plays even bigger than that. So, but I did hear somebody say one time if we don't sign him within a certain point of time, he can actually revert back into the draft next year and like completely miss this whole season. And he can
Hey,
go back into the draft for next year and get redrafted to, he can get put back in the draft if we don't give him a contract here within a certain amount of time. And it's like, man, if that would happen, automatically Howie has to lose his job right there and then. Like, because that is a waste of a second round pick in my eyes.
I doubt it happens, but just like you said, that doesn't look good for Howard. That's a mark against him. That is a big mark against him. Like I've never heard of a player reverting back to the draft.
Right? I've never either. I forget who actually brought that up. I'm trying to think now. But yeah, that's what they were saying. If there comes to a certain time length of him not being signed, he actually can have that option whether he wants to choose to go back into the draft or wait until we sign him.
We'll never hear the end of it. It would be the
Right?
top story. It would be a top story. But again,
Yeah.
the good side is that's a mark against Howard. That's him closer to getting out the door.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, at this point, I'll take anything to get this man out. How about you?
Oh yeah, like I said, he well before we could say he was good with the contracts. Now not so much. And there have been times where he's made great moves. To get where he was when he took over for Chip Kelly, to end up with the second pick of the draft, those were big steps. Now I don't know if he's resting on his laurels, how you say, or he's seen that accomplishment and he can just live off of that. He hasn't really stepped up his game since.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think this draft alone right here this year is good enough to save his ass? Because I surely don't.
Now, one draft can't save it. And this draft would have to be spectacular for it to save him. Like we
Yeah.
already have question marks with the second round pick. He's already off to a bad start.
Yeah. Yeah, and I honestly would, say some other moves that he's uh, done were a little questionable too so far. We'll see how they pan out, but like for instance, I mean, I understand Williams. But like I said, I want need over want at this point.
Yeah.
And if you wanted Williams so bad, you should have taken your need at 3 and then traded back up. Like we had the capital. I just feel there was some moves that could have been made a little smarter. Like Dickerson, because he did have a torn ACL. He probably would have been there a little later into the second if you wanted him so bad. You could have taken Asante Samuel Jr. and then traded back up into the second and taken Dickerson if you wanted him so bad. You know
Well,
what I
that
mean?
was the pick I wanted, Asante Samuel Jr. He was
Yeah.
perfect. He was there. But my thing with Howie is he has an issue where I think that it's not like the smartest man in the room, but he always wants to get the steal of the draft. He tried it with Sidney Jones. He knew there was an ankle injury, or excuse me, an Achilles injury. But he was like, you
Yeah.
know what? Let me take him in a second because I guarantee I can flip that. Turn it around, he'll be a great player. And he's failed every time. He has not hit it out the park at all.
No. No. And in all honesty, my guy, he shouldn't even have anything to do with this shit.
And I guarantee you, like his greatest pick is going to be Devontae Smith, and it'll carry him. That pick will carry him.
Yeah. No, you know what? Devontae Smith might be the man's saving grace. No lie. Like in all honesty, in the end of the day, that might be it.
Yeah,
So, speaking of which, I want to ask you something here. I've actually started to gain new favorite person out of this rookies, because I expect Smith to go far, well, and beyond, but my favorite out of this whole group so far, I have to say, is Kenny Gainwell. What do you see his season being like this year, man?
I see him being a solid contributor. I don't know if he'll have the second. He'll be second in the depth chart. He might fall into third. He's a rookie, but I see him as a great change of pace. He's going to be out there catching screens. He's going to make defenses go crazy. I think he's a great addition. He'll be a great pickup.
Do you think we roll with 3 halfbacks or 4?
I think we might roll with four, but I'm going to stay on the conservative side and just say three for now.
Okay. Yeah, because I've had a strong feeling lately it's just going to be Miles, Johnson, and Gainwell.
Yeah.
You know, um,
And
but
it all depends on Kerryon Johnson's health, too, because that might be an issue.
yeah. And the reason that I don't give Jordan Howard the leg up on this team, and why I say he does get released, and I know a lot of people are like, no, you can release Miles or you can release Jordan Howard, and I don't believe many people will try to get him like most of these other guys. You can
Yeah.
release him and he'll be there in 2 weeks because of his recent past. To where if you let go of Johnson, I can't promise you he'll be there next week. Jordan is your safest bet. You can release him and still pick him back up. I mean,
Yeah.
do you agree with that?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Johnson has way more potential than Howard does. And just like you said, if Howard gets cut, he'll most likely won't get picked up by another team. And if we need, we can pick him back up whenever we want.
Exactly. So I know a lot of people give me shit about that. They're like, "Oh, how do you not have Howard on?" Because we can cut him and he'll be there. It's not like it's Miles Sanders we're talking about here. It's not like if we cut him in 24 hours, he'll be picked up. Maybe he will because somebody gets injured, but that doesn't mean he's going to make the team. I mean, look what happened in Miami last year. You
Yeah.
know, he went to Miami and literally did nothing, got let go, and then came back to us.
Yeah. I think he was on the injury list for most of the year.
Yeah. So that's why I said, man, it's just a lot easier in my eyes to let that person go because they'll be there. Like there's no threat. I can't say that with Johnson. I can't say that with Gainwell. I can't say that with, um, well, I see if Boston Scott stays, he'll probably be on the practice squad. You know, if we only roll with three. If we have four, he'll probably be our fourth. It's either that or Adrian Killings. But I only say Adrian Killings because I believe Killings would be a good punt and kick return.
For Philly Notion's sake, I will say Adrian Killings, but in all honesty, now he's practice squad. He's practice squad headed. Yeah, Gainwell, as you said, Gainwell. We got Johnson. We have Miles Sanders. That's pretty much the three-headed monster we're going to go into the season. That's what's curious. Hopefully, we stay healthy, and we don't need to change up the lineup.
Out of your who's your three starting wide receivers? First off, is it Smith, Fulgham, Rager?
I don't know if I'm gonna put Fulgham in there. I think I'm
No?
gonna. It's gonna. I think I don't. I don't know. Fulgham's been around, and there's been opportunities where he's could have had, and he just let it slip. Last year, Aaron Moore was talking about that. How Fulgham was there, he was on the field, he was doing what he needed to do, and even though Alshon came back, it was more on his end that he wasn't on the field. It wasn't the fact that Alshon and a lot of people were saying, he was making a certain amount, he had to start. Wasn't Doesn't sound like that was the case. It was more of Fulgham not putting his potential into what he needed to do to get on the field. So that's what scares me about Fulgham. I don't know if he's all there mentally. He has the physical gift. We've seen it against Pittsburgh. It's just, is he going to put his effort into it? So that's why I think it might be Watkins. Watkins might surprise a lot of people.
I also agree. I'm 100% behind you on that. If Fulgham slacks, if that is true, what he is, Watkins can definitely steal that from him. I 100% agree with you. Kid is putting in the work. But here's why I say that's bullshit, though, on the Fulgham thing. This kid came out and he busted his ass for 5 weeks straight, number one wide receiver in the NFL, and then you bench him for Alshon Jeffrey. I know it's not right, but you know what? I don't blame the kid because we all know Alshon only came back because of money. That's the only reason that man played. It was not because he was better than Fulgham. It was not because he was going to lead us to the promised land. It was all because he was making $20 million. Same with Djax. Well, when you bench this kid, when he's already balling out for 5 weeks straight, one, that shows you don't respect what he's done for you the last 5 weeks. And two, that made him instantly not want to play for you anymore. Because he's like, well, I'm out here and I'm putting myself on the line. I'm balling out, trying to make you guys look good, trying to help Carson Wentz out. And you know what? You guys bench me because he makes more money than me, even though I play better than him. That instantly just takes the spark out right there. And then whenever they inserted him, he wasn't as productive. Well, yeah, no shit. You literally benched this guy for a dude who was shittier than him because he made more money. So I understand. I'm not saying he was right by doing what he did. I'm just saying I understand why he did it because I wouldn't want to play for somebody like that. If you're going to bench me just because of money, screw you, man. Like, I understand it where Nick is like, hey, the best are going to play. It's not about money. It's not about, what you can do off the field. It's about if you are on this field and you do the job and you do the job right, you will play.
Yeah, but this is also the NFL where your draft pick can dictate if you're a starter now. So a lot of Travis, especially Travis Fulgham, being where he's come from and all the teams that he's been on, he should understand that there are going to be players that might not be better than you, might not deserve it, but they will start over you. So you have to do what you need to do on the practice field. You have to make sure that the coaches are watching you and seeing what you can do, so that way they can get you on that field. Because you can't tell me that you couldn't outperform Alshon. You tell me you couldn't. Alshon
Dude,
Jeffrey was
it's not the
garbage.
fact that he couldn't do it. It's the fact that even if he did do it, he wasn't going to play anyway. They proved that by putting Alshon back in over top of him when he was playing at his best.
And
That's my
that was all
point.
Doug.
So no
Yeah, well,
matter if he balled out or not, he was still going to get benched because Alshon was going to play over him.
we got to see. Like I said, Aaron Moorhead kind of alluded to the fact that it was more on Fulgham than the fact that it was Jeffrey and the amount of money he made. That's why I said that's what made me think about it. When the coach is saying that, that makes you think. That could have been a possibility. Let's be honest. Alshon made too much money to sit on the bench. But again,
Yeah, oh, fuck yeah,
he didn't do anything to outshine Alshon, or for the enough for the coaches to think that Fulgham was more trusted than Alshon.
man. No, and that's why I said, man, that's the only thing I can think of about those rumors about Fulgham because that's the only thing that makes sense. It's like, no, the guy literally gave up on you because you gave up on him
But
for
the thing
some
is, I hope
busted
he's not that
old
kind
ass
of player.
dude.
I hope he's not that kind of player that mentally would just give up. Again, if that's the case, then you know it's not because of your ability. You know it's because of how much money he's making. So you just want to show out every time you can.
No, I'm with you on that. Like I said, I don't agree. If that is the case, I don't agree with it. But I understand it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but I understand it. I know that's probably a controversial statement right there. I don't give a fuck. It's my
So,
statement, and I stand by it. So, uh,
yeah, man.
but like I said, it's one of those things where because I played wide receiver in school and I understand it. I if you go out there and you bust your ass every day and you do things for people and you try and do things and then you get benched for some fucking 31-year-old busted down Daewoo, you know, uh, I understand his pain, man. I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, man. The life of an NFL backup is not a fun one. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of trials and tribulations you have to go through. There's a lot of like a lot of shit you have to go through just to make it. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of fuck people in your way. You got to do what you can to
Yeah.
make sure that the coach is always seeing what you're doing. The coach always has an eye on you. Coach is always complimenting or even talking about you. That's what you need to do as a player.
Yep. Yeah, we'll do that further for sure. We were getting there, but sure, we'll get there right now. Let's talk about this linebacker core. You got T.J. Edwards, you got Wilson, you got Singleton, you got Sean Bradley, you got Davion Taylor, you got Avery. What are we looking at here, and what do you think it looks like come week one?
To me, it looks like a mess. I don't. I listen. I God bless those coaches. They have a lot to figure out. You know what I mean? We don't know who our starting middle linebacker is going to be. I think it was said to be, just forgot his name, the guy we just got from Minnesota. I think he's been promised middle linebacker spot, but we still have a weak side and a strong side to think about. And right now, we have to wait to see what goes on in training camp to figure that out. No one has a clue what's going on with the linebacker core.
Well, I mean, you don't have any favorites. You don't have any. What you want to see. You don't have any.
I like Devon Taylor. I think he played well last year. He's very fast, very aggressive, but he was very raw. I mean, he had a lot to learn, and I think this offseason will only benefit him. I mean, he's going to come out to feel more knowledgeable, and like I said, with that speed and that aggression, it's gonna be great for us. I also, matter of fact, I also like Bradley, but again, that's the competition between them. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good competition. But the thing is, I can't make heads or tails of anything.
Yeah, I feel we have a lot more blitzing linebackers than we do coverage, um, which
Erickson, I
might
think, is more
end
of like
up
a
hurting
coverage
us.
linebacker, though.
Huh?
The guy we have in Minnesota, Erickson, I believe his name is. He's more of a coverage linebacker. He's probably one of the
Well,
one
he
of the
can
better
do both.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's like the only one. Singleton is a blitzer. TJ is a blitzer. They're not really. Singleton's not really known for his pass coverage. Neither is TJ Edwards. Yeah, like I said, we have Wilson, but it's like that is kind of our weak point in the linebacker room is our uh, pass coverage. Especially with TJ and Singleton. So, we kind of have to figure that out as well because only having one linebacker that can do pass coverage, that's kind of shitty in its
and
own way.
and Edwards, he's too slow. You can't really have him out
Yeah,
there that long. Yeah,
yeah,
he's a problem. Now, question
yeah.
for
No,
you.
I actually really like Jacoby Stevens. He might actually end up being a really dark horse player this year. I could see this kid coming in, maybe not right away, but maybe like week 4, 5, or 6, coming in and making an impact, and then just kind of taking off from there. What do you think?
Yeah, he has a lot of good talent, a lot of good attributes. Very fast, plays physical. Now, is that a thing where he is definitely moving to linebacker?
Yeah, we drafted him as a linebacker.
Okay, because I didn't know if they were going to put him in like in a hybrid thing, if they're going to have special packages for him or not. But yeah, if he's moving to linebacker, there goes another coverage guy you have.
I mean, you could use him uh, like an Adams. Like Seattle uses Adams. I'd say
Yeah,
like
you can move him around.
you could probably use him in that role. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I mean, I'm sure there might be times he is, playing at the safety position. I'm sure they're not going to count that out. I'm sure they're not going to leave that one, not open. I'm sure if he can play some safety role, he will. You know,
Yeah, and you could even mess around with Kayvon Wallace, who has experience at linebacker,
yeah.
cornerback, and safety. So, like I said, it looks like they're going to get really creative with the defense. They're going to be moving guys around. They're going to try to confuse the offense as much as possible. We're going to have great disguises, good looks. But again, we won't know what's really going to happen until we get into this training camp. There's a lot. There's a lot that has to be seen.
Do you think Avery makes this team?
At linebacker, no, no.
Well, that's
I
what he
think,
is.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they had that thing where he was going from DE to linebacker. I don't see him making that linebacker. Yeah, I see him getting cut.
Okay. Um, what how you feel about Steichen?
Not can't say much about him. Didn't really hear much about him, but looks like a good player.
Oh no, Steichen, our offensive coordinator.
Oh,
Shane Steichen.
is he from? He's from San Diego, correct? He was with
Yeah, the Chargers. Yeah.
yeah. Wait, wasn't he with McVay also, right? He's one of Willie McVay's guys.
He was with yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
He was
he
with
developed
McVay.
Herbert last year.
Yeah, yeah, we can say that he developed Herbert. He did a lot of good things with him. He put him in great position. Um, I'm very excited to see what he's going to do because now we're going to go more to like a West Coast offense. Our running back's going to see a lot more screens coming their way. I think he's going to help Jalen Hurts a lot tremendously. He's going to try to get the ball out of his hands fast. It's a playmaker's hands. So that like I said, it's only going to help out the offense and help out our quarterback.
So are you expecting a lot of RPOs, or is it just going to be just a lot of quick passes?
I think more quick passes and RPOs because again, you're not going to want to get your quarterback exposed. That's all we have right now. There will be, don't get me wrong, they're going to have that good healthy mix in there, but I don't think they're going to want to expose Jalen Hurts to too much punishment.
Um, I wanted to ask you this Zach Ertz thing that's going on right now, man. So I guess he's going to report, and I guess he's going to be on this team come week 1. How you feel about that? You got mixed feelings or what?
Love it. Listen, his cap number at 8.5 million hurts. I get it, but at the same time, we have a capable backup. We have a great player still on the team. We have a valuable piece if we need for a trade. So if anything, having again aside of the cap hit, having Zach Ertz on the team benefits us. Again, we have Dallas Goddard. If anything were to happen to him, if Ertz wasn't on the team, we'd be looking at Richard Rodgers. Do you really want to go in the season with Richard Rodgers as your starting tight end? You're going to want to have a security blanket in Ertz, and it's only going to help out Jalen Hurts as well because he's going to have two good, capable tight ends on the field at the same time.
Well, and I get that. I totally agree. Ertz would definitely be a good tight end too. I said it in my video that I dropped a couple days ago about Ertz. I said, listen, I want him to be Selleck. I would love him to come in, be able to help mold Goddard into what he can be, and then retire an Eagle and just go out a legend. But mentally, I don't think he can do that. Because in the end, this guy still thinks he's better than Goddard. Okay,
Well,
and I don't think he would want to be a tight end too. It's just not his mentality. Ertz is a competitor. That's what he is. But if he can do it, I'm all for it. But I can't disrespect Rodgers though either. He did a hell of a job standing in last year for us. So if anybody does deserve to kind of have a tight end two position and show us what he can actually do for a full season, it is him. You know, but no, I get it. I'm torn between this one. I always have been because I really loved Ertz, but I understand why people want to get rid of him and why we should get rid of him. So I'm that guy right down the middle.
Well, I don't really understand the people that say that we should get rid of him because he would be a nuisance in the locker room. I don't see Zach Ertz as that kind of player. I don't see him causing problems or voicing his opinion in the locker room at any time. I don't see that out of him. I really hope he could be a Brett Selleck like player now because when people forget when Ertz came in, you had to be very patient with him. Ertz was a horrible blocker. He isn't the greatest blocker now, but there were off seasons where he was literally going to camps. Selleck was always by his side, showing him the ropes, teaching him, giving him blocking techniques. He was very patient with him. I would think it would be a disservice for Ertz not to return the favor for whoever's behind him, not to do that for them. Because you know what I mean? Like you're disrespecting the people that came before you. And you're not
Yeah.
making a good impression on the people that are coming after you. So I would hope that he would want to help out, whether it's Goddard, Rogers, or whoever. He's a veteran now. Now he needs to act like it. You're no longer going to be that number one tight end that you know did what you did. You could be a decent tight end on another team, but those days are gone. You have to understand what your role on this team is now. And if you can't, then yeah, by all means, we need to move him. But if he's coming into camp and he's willing to play that role, that's only going to help us out.
Yeah, no, man, I agree. And that's why I said if he does play that role, then I 100% understand. But he's got to know his role.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you have to understand when you played at a high level for such a long time and you're starting to decline, your role on the team changes. You're no longer that person that's dependent to be on the field. You're the guy that's depending off the field. Show the other guys how to come to work, how to prepare, how to conduct yourself on and off the field. You need to be that guy. If you can't, then how can you call yourself a professional?
Yeah. No, and I agree. And these guys are professionals. They do this for their living. This is their job. They need to treat it as if it was such. But you know, there's a lot behind all of this, man. That really gets on my nerves because this team and how dysfunctional it was last year and kind of how we're restarting this year. This isn't what we're known for. This isn't what our team is known for. We don't do this. This is not our franchise. And I feel we are going in the right direction now. I feel like we are, finally setting ourselves in the right direction to get back on pace to being one of the top franchises in the NFL again. But what do you expect from Hurts and Sanders this year? Between me and you have talked about it. These two together should be a deadly combination.
Oh,
Because of their length, both of them. So, what do you feel, and what should people fear about both of them?
well, for Jalen, of course, his speed. Once Jalen sees a play break down and he knows there's nothing down the field, he's going to break out. He's going to make you miss it. He's going to make you look stupid. Now, the only issue with that is once Brevin breaks out the pocket, he needs that ball security. He needs to know that holding on to the ball is his number one priority. Yeah, getting that first down is what we need, but making sure you have the ball at the end of the play is even greater. That's a greater need. Um, I think he's going to pick up defenses more. That's the thing I'm most excited about, Jalen. See if he can look at the defense and read it just like everyone else is now. If he can catch along and see what they're doing, catch it even before it happens. You can see a disguised look and say, you know what? I seen that last year. I already know the read I'm going to make, and do it. For Miles Sanders, my biggest thing is he needs to stay healthy. I think health is a big, big, big concern for him. If he can, I see him being a top five running back. There's nothing that he can't do. He's explosive with the ball. He can run. He can go off the backfield and catch it. What can't he do? But again, everything boils down to him being healthy. If he can stay healthy, then again, like I said, he could be a top five back. So there's gonna be a lot of defenses scared of this team. I mean, you have a dual threat quarterback who can pretty much throw it anywhere he wants. You got a young, running back that wants to prove himself. So a lot of defenses need to be scared.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's the thing, a lot of people are doubting this kid, and a lot of people are putting, a lot of hate on him. And it's like, I hope he takes everything that these people are saying about him and all this doubt, and he throws it on his shoulders, man, and he just goes out here and lights it up this year. I know he says that stuff it doesn't weigh on his mind, and he doesn't pay attention to it, but he does. He has to. Like, you're human, man. Everybody wants to know what people think about them.
Well, the
If
one
anybody out there can sit there and say that they don't pay attention, you're full of shit. Like, no lie. You always look now and then. You know what I'm saying?
well, the one thing I like about Jalen Hurts is he lives in the hate. Like he hears what's being
Yeah.
said. He sees the story. Like he reads it all. He knows what's being said about him, and he lives in it. He doesn't complain about
Yep.
it. He doesn't really talk about it. He just goes about his business, and that's something you have to admire from him because that tells you he's mentally tough. That tells you when he's on the field and say he throws an interception, next series when he comes in, he's not going to care about that. He's not going to think about that. All he's thinking about is progressing his team and getting them to score. That's something that I'm very excited to see in him.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Jalen Hurts is Philly tough. He's meant for this city, 100%. Like, if there is any quarterback in the NFL who can handle us, it's Jalen Hurts. Like, you can see it, and I just love how quiet he actually is because that's what I feel makes him the most deadliest.
Yeah,
You
he has
know,
a quiet confidence.
exactly. Yeah, like what do they say? Whenever you go into the bar and you see a bunch of drunk people, the one that's talking usually is the one with all the
The
bark has
pussy.
no bite, but the
Yep.
one that's in the corner that's all quiet and shit, that's the one you want to watch out for.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta be
that's
quiet for the
Jay.
quiet ones. Yeah, be careful
Yeah,
for the quiet ones. Yeah, they'll hurt you.
exactly, exactly. And that's something people need to realize. He's being quiet, and there's a reason for that. He'll let his shit talk on the field. He won't talk and let his verbal words get him in trouble. He'll do it on the field and make you eat your words. And that's what I love about this kid's mentality.
Yeah, I think this year we're gonna have a lot. You're gonna see a lot of swagger on the field. You're gonna see a lot of confidence on the field. You're gonna see players having fun. You have a young coaching staff. You have a very knowledgeable coaching staff, and they're gonna put everything they can into these players. And these players are gonna go on the field. They're gonna show everybody. They're gonna be a team to be reckoned with. I mean, they're going to be a young team. A lot of people are doubting them this year. What was it? I think I heard someone say that the Eagles are pretty much going to be last in the division. Everyone got Dallas.
Yeah, like only 3 wins.
Yeah. Listen, I think we're not again. I can say because I'm a fan. Whatever the case is, we're going to surprise a lot more people. We're going to turn heads. This offense is going to cook. It's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. Lord willing, we'll stay healthy. Where this line will, take us, carry us to the playoffs, and hopefully further.
Well, listen, man, we're approaching an hour here. I appreciate you coming on, and I won't take up too much of your time. Having doing an hour tonight, I'm gonna go in and spend some time here with the family on this Friday night. Busy throughout the week, so I'm gonna use tonight as my off night. But before you get going here, I want to bounce off what you were just saying. Then I agree with you. I have us going 12-5 this year. Okay, I do. If you look at our schedule and everything and you look at our roster on paper and just the expectations, the energy around this team, the coaches, and just everyone and how they're holding themselves in this locker room and accountability, and they preach fundamentals. And if they can get these guys thinking straight and they can get them going out there and playing without having to think, dude, and if you can just go out and play with an open mind, you don't make mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll be able to think faster on their feet, be able to play the game, and just that's what makes it fun. They'll be able to have fun, like you said. So, what is your season expectations, and what do you see us going for here?
I'm gonna keep it modest. I say 9-8. Like I said, we are a young team. We have a new coaching staff. We're very excited. But again, with a young team and young coaching staff, there's going to be some stumbles. There's going to be some learning curves. There's going to be some issues. Hopefully, we can, pass through them. Go forward, and for the next season, be a better team. But I think this is going to be a solid first season. And before I let you go, I heard this stat and it caught me so off guard, and I don't know why they mentioned it earlier. It's in reference to Derek Barnett and Josh Sweat. Now, I don't know how you feel about Derek Barnett. In my eyes, I think that we spent way too much for him, and he has produced horribly. I mean, for the most
Yeah.
part, I call him a bust. But I just want to bring this stat up to you, and I just want your opinion and what you think about it. Now, this is just Josh Sweat. He was first on the team. Now, this is all team stats. First in the team with 7 forced fumbles. Second on the team with 9 lost fumbles. Third with 6 sacks. And fourth with 12 quarterback hits. That sounds pretty good. Now, could you believe this if I told you that he hasn't even played 40% of the snaps and still got all that?
No, it doesn't surprise me. Sweat's a beast. I don't know why he hasn't been playing more sooner. Uh,
Listen,
I I get it. The
I
guy's got bad knees. I get it. Okay, it is what it is. But use him while you have him. Like
if he's
I don't
producing like this
understand
with
why
that
that's a
limited
hard
amount of
thing.
time, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
If he's producing like this with that limited amount of time, why are you wasting your time and energy on Derek Barnett? I got it. There's
yeah,
potential. There was potential, but guess what? We've seen enough of him. We've paid enough for him.
yeah.
His time is up. It has to be. We need to move Derek Barnett.
You know, I got to say this, man. The Rams used up Todd Gurley. They knew what they had in Todd Gurley. They knew his time was coming to an end, and they used it to their fullest. Okay, it's not wrong. I mean, I know it does sound shitty. In all honesty, it does. But you don't think that Sweat wants to play? If he only gets 3 years and his legs only give him 3 years, he's going to make the fucking best out of those 3 years. You know what I mean? Like
Huh?
you're going to get 100% of Josh Sweat for 3 years because he knows his time is short.
Yep.
So yeah, you gotta have to play this kid. I mean, he's proven enough. He's shown enough. And Barnett for being what a 14th overall pick or a 16th, whatever he was, 15th.
Yeah, something like that. 12 to 16 between that.
Yeah, fuck that dude. He has not produced nowhere near his potential. Like you got to go with Sweat at this point, man. Really.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me back to what you were saying about Fulgham. If you have a player that just because of their draft pick is ahead of you, you're going to do what you need to do to show coaches that you can be trusted in those certain positions. And a player like Sweat, that's what he's been doing, and I think he more than
Yeah.
deserved his shot. He should be the starter.
Yeah. No, he should be. And what 2 games last year he came in and he had 2 sacks in the game and he only had what like 10 snaps if that.
Yeah, and what's the point of what are
He,
you
he
saving his knees for? Are you going to wait until 3 years later when he's at 50%, or do you want to use him now when he's at a good 95%? Ride that bitch till the wheels fall off, man. You know what I mean?
exactly.
You got to do
Well,
it.
and that's why I said it sounds bad, when you put it in that way, it really sounds bad because it's like, oh, yeah, you guys are just going to use him up and then just get rid of him. Well, I'm sorry his longevity isn't as long as other people's. That's shitty, but yeah, I'd rather use him at his full potential than just wear him out and not use him at all.
Yeah, like ask Josh Sweat if he would rather play 3 full seasons at a starter position or stay in the league for 5 seasons as a backup. I guarantee you he'll take those 3 seasons.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you too. Yeah. No, I get you, man. I believe Sweat is going to make a push for it this year, and I believe if Sweat beats him, I don't know, man. I don't know if even Barnett's on this team this year if Sweat beats him out.
Fast we can get rid of
Yeah,
Barnett.
that's the thing. That's why I said you have to look at Dillard and you have to look at Sweat, man. Like, can you truly afford to have a first round backup? Is that truly something you want to sit here and say you have a first round backup and then you have a first round backup on defense? Like, no, I'm sorry, man. Am I wrong?
But my thing is, look at how bad it is when you are a first round. And the only reason why you're in the starting position is because of where you were drafted. It has nothing to do with your production. It has everything to do with your drafting. That's not a good look.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man, it's definitely going to be an interesting season here.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting training camp, and to see how this all works out and to see how this roster comes together. I can't wait for, preseason for some football to drop. I'm ready for that. I'm
4 days
tired of
from Christmas,
talking
man.
about it. I want to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that time we're
you
all
know,
getting eager, we're getting itchy.
yeah, 100%, my guy. All right,
Yeah.
so real quick, I just want to thank him one more time, everyone, for coming out. My guy, like I said, he is not a content creator per se, but he is always around. He's always in Philly Mike's chat. He's always in mine. He's always in everyone's, and he has very good insight in the NFL, and he's very football smart. So I wanted to get him on the show and just talk a little bit here with you. And I appreciate you coming on, man, and everything you do for us content creators. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you letting me on. And again, I appreciate the kind words.
It's no problem, man. It's well deserved. Like I said, you're a big supporter for a lot of people, so it's only appreciation from here.
Thank you, man. Yeah, man. This Eagles community, man. We build together. I mean, you gotta help out. Anytime you see your man's
Yeah,
out there, especially if they're Eagles content creators, hit that like, hit that subscribe. You know what I mean? You got to give them that push. Got to show them that what they're doing is going on the right path. Help everybody out, especially within the Eagles community. You got to look out for one another.
exactly. Because without all of us, man, we're nothing. You know, we're all family and we all support each other and we all get along and we all try to communicate as best as we can and we all try to get on each other's channels and promote each other and share each other's content. So it is what it is, man, but it's all a community thing. It's all about love and support, and we're just hated because they hate us because they hate us.
Yep.
Everyone wants to be us and they can't be us.
And
we're,
people don't
we're,
be
we're
jealous.
a rare breed. Yeah. So once again, man, I appreciate you coming on here with me, and I'm sorry, I'm really tired tonight, so I might have stuttered or repeated myself a bunch, but it is what it is. But until next time, everyone, I do appreciate you. Thank you to all the fuck you crew who came out tonight. Everyone was so great. I might have hit 140 subs. That's awesome. If I did, I appreciate everyone for all the subs and all the support. Love each and every one of you. Until next time, this is AK Eagles, and this has been another episode of the Eagles Uncensored podcast. Thank you, Vick3, for coming out, my guy. Appreciate you so much. And until next time, we out. Peace.